From the Pro Image Group of Companies, Pro Sport, in conjunction with the Victorian Football League, presents Pro Football.
Hello and welcome once again to more great VFL action in pro football. This week we journey out to Victoria Park, the home of Collingwood, as they take on North Melbourne. A game so important for both sides trying desperately to climb into the five. North Melbourne were looking to get back that winning consistency that had them in the five last year. Collingwood, on the other hand, well, they were still stung after last week's defeat by the Sydney Swans and were determined to make amends. It was a pretty good crowd at Victoria Park in absolutely ideal conditions. With me in the commentary box from the opening bounce was Bobby Skilton.
Umpire Ian Robinson about to set the game in motion here at Victoria Park, and there's plenty of pre-match tension too between Collingwood and North Melbourne. A critical game for both sides as McCann wins the first tap out. Cracker can't take it away, but he does have support. It was North Melbourne's Wayne Schimmelbusch who won the toss, kicked towards the scoreboard end. Collingwood going towards the Sherrin stand end, and a bounce to take place. Well, despite the rain during the week, this ground's in pretty good nick. Messrs Collins and Beers are on the interchange for the Pies. Fellows wins it, but it's Larkin who puts North down towards the half-forward line. Fisted away by Xiao down to Abernethy, and he's been in good form in recent weeks. Former Port Adelaide wingman goes back towards the centre. The extrovert Bradbury can't take the mark. Dacos looks to steal it away, gives it across to Fellows. Poor hand pass, and Cracker will intercept. Does so, but he gets caught. Well tackled, and it'll allow Greg Phillips to receive and put the Maggies out of strife. Down towards Banks, up towards their half-forward line. Mullane again, but he overruns it. Now a chance for Passmore. A short kick, partly smothered, going towards Greg Phillips. Bradbury does the shepherding work, and does it strongly too. Shaw, across to Morwood. The running Gaffer, caught. Not pinged, but well caught. Brought to ground, and Ian Robinson again will come in and have a bounce, and that shepherding work that I was talking about has landed Greg Phillips, I think, in a spot of bother. He's not on camera, but I'll keep an eye on him. As McCann, through Cloak it goes. No one able to get it effectively away. Still on the ground, and eventually Holt. No, it's smothered off his boot too. Morwood can't take it. Nor too can Dwyer, but he may pick up the free kick, and in fact does. And as I speak, Greg Phillips, okay, running back to his position down on that half-back line. Turner. Handley. Collingwood from half-back up towards the half-forward line. Cloak the flyer. One grab, couldn't take it. Passmore out to McCann. And again, North out of trouble. Putting it out wide, and the mark is taken there by Ian Fairley. He's got time to steady. Have a look up towards Jonas, and he finds his mark. Just about right on the 50-metre line. Jonas's kick will be the first score. A good-looking kick for goal, and it's the first one on the board. To the Northerners, kicked by Peter Jonas. And he's had possibly his best year since coming over from Central Districts, suffering a couple of broken legs, but now really starting to get some consistency into his game. So North, one straight goal. 6 points, leading Collingwood, yet to score. Conditions cool, but absolutely ideal for football. And after last week's performance against Sydney, well, Collingwood have got to win. By the same token, North will be saying that after their dismal showing out at Princes Park. From the centre bounce again, and it's Morwood, well tackled by Holt, gets rid of the football. Larkins couldn't take it. Dacos at the bottom of the pack, held whilst not in possession. Quickly plays on to Morwood, to the half-forward line, puts it out in front of Banks. Almost trapped it beautifully, but in the end lost it to Crocker. He gives it to Dwyer, and North Melbourne looking pretty good at the moment as they go up towards the half-forward line. There's a free kick down the ground. Hanley doesn't agree with it, but umpire Russo said no, you flattened him after he got rid of the football. So Jonas, instead of being on the outer side, is on the members' side this time and is on the 50-metre line. Flat-looking drop punt. In towards full forward. Atkins was there. So too Abernethy, and he'll just run it over the line. 1 point. 1-1. North Melbourne. Collingwood are yet to score. Ricky Barham not taking his place, incidentally, in the Collingwood lineup. The other two that were named were Russell Dixon and Tony Burgess, played in the twos. Jonas couldn't take it, nor Mullane, but he gets boot to ball and goes over the line. So a throw in, 65 metres out from the North scoring zone, and they've done the bulk of the attacking. In fact, the ball hasn't gone down to Brian Taylor at the other end of the ground as yet. Fellows tried to pluck it out of the air, then pushed it down towards Dacos or Shaw. It's the latter. It goes with a throw over the back, and Collingwood fans don't like it, but Tony isn't putting up too much of an argument. So it'll be Ben Buckley, 60 metres out, in towards the forward line once again. Plenty of flyers. Abernethy will be the first to recover, and this time goes to the outer side where he's got Bradbury all alone. Only got to sit for him and he's in business. Gets his kick up towards centre wing. Holt is there, and he's got support. And once again, oh, a good smother. Great smother by Handley. Law has possession now. A hurried kick to half forward. Mullane gets a poor bounce. Dwyer will be even with him. Chasing towards the line, and Mullane's kick goes over. So the pressure right on at the moment. Here's the throw-in. McCann, Fellows, won by McCann. Gives it out to German. Kick doesn't travel a great deal of distance. Jamie Turner couldn't take the mark, but recovers nicely. Back towards Cloak. Used the body well. Crocker came over the top. Straight to Morwood. Here's a chance for the running Handley. On to Cloak. No, he says, I'll go towards BT myself at half forward. Taylor's waiting at the back. Williams down in front. Gets caught. Couldn't get his kick away. Passmore showing plenty as he gives it to Ackley. Ackley towards the centre. Cracker takes the mark. Not allowed to go on by Shane Kerrison. Now the umpire lets it go as Larkin goes to Fairley. Arsieri. North looking dangerous to Schimmelbusch. 45 metres out. Tucked on the boundary line, but Peter Jonas says, here I am in the square. Just put it straight over my head. Let's see what he can do. It's the kick from Schimmer. Jonas waits at the back, and it's Fellows who takes the good defensive mark. Fellows not too sure where to go. The umpire's going to have to pull him back a bit. He does now. Now Morwood will fly from behind. Hickey's in front. Couldn't take it. Tony Shaw couldn't quite trap it. Siao, was he pushed? The umpire says no, as Morwood gives it to Tony Shaw. Another one to Mullane. Back to Turner's good football. Now the Maggies look good. Banks is on that half-forward line. Williams takes it. He can give it to Banks. He's down in the pocket on his own. Well, it was a shocking kick, but Banks may recover. No. Hasn't given away the free kick, though. The umpire calls play on. Back to Williams. Intercepted by Ronnie McKeon. McKeon's kick in towards goal. Marked on the very last line of defence by Roscoe Glendinning. Bradbury, the man on the mark. Glendinning. First time we've seen Collingwood into attack. Critical game for them. Kick straight towards Brian Taylor. No one able to take it. Picked up by Law. Gets a hurried kick back towards Abernethy. He's first to it in front of Schimmelbusch. Abernethy's clear. Onto the left foot he goes with a drop punt. Williams will be one of the flyers. Can't take the mark. Play on is the call. Picked up by Banks. Hooks it back in towards full forward. Who's waiting down? Dacos was there but couldn't pick it up. And in fact the free kick has gone against Collingwood, much to the annoyance of their fans. And it'll be taken by Michael Passmore. Passmore at full-back, looking for Glendinning. Cloak comes over the top. Dwyer's waiting down. Hurriedly onto the left foot. Gathers little distance, but should find Peter German. Oh, it's a shocking bounce for Peter, and picked up by Morwood. He wobbles one towards Dacos. Now here's a chance for the Macedonian marvel as he fires towards goal and puts through Collingwood's first. Great goal by Dacos. The Pies are away. They trail by a point on Seven's big lead. Always dangerous. It doesn't matter where he is on the ground. And running on the ball, Dacos just loose across that half-forward line. Collingwood certainly had their chances. That's the first one they've been able to take advantage of. A point the difference, centre bounce. I have a feeling we could be in for a pretty close game. It's a bounce that favours McCann. He doesn't effectively get it away. Cloak was helped. He does well to tap it on towards Hanley. He pushes it further forward. Now to Mullane. Shepherding should see him clear. Hooks it over his shoulder towards Banks, and he's got it. Inside the 50-metre line, and Banks, he'll give this a decent old nudge. Behind play, David Dwyer is in trouble. And the umpire is sending Banks back, much to the disgust of his skipper, Mark Williams. David Dwyer, behind play, is not a well boy. He's holding his face as if to suggest that there could be a problem with the shoulder. It's a poor kick by Banks. Out of bounds on the full. And bad news for North Melbourne, and most unfortunate for young David Dwyer, because he's leaving the ground. With the look of that injury, he won't be taking much further part in the game. McCann under pressure towards German, who does it well in front of Shaw. Holding him is Jamie Turner. Plays on. Dangerously so, but they're out of trouble. Crocker's kick towards Jonas. Didn't try and mark, tried to thump it on, and Gafer, who Dwyer has left, is able to get the kick away. Dangerously so, however. Phillips back to Gafer. Now this time he should get his kick or hand pass. Gives it to Morwood, who handles it like a hot potato. Was ripped off the football when he didn't have it, and luckily Collingwood will get out of trouble. Oh, there's pressure on here. Lee Matthews will have it ringing in their ears how they gave that one away last week. And John Kennedy will certainly have made North aware of their performance at Princes Park. Down to North's forward line again. Again, down in front, Gafer. Phillips, high hand pass, puts Tony Shaw under pressure. Gives it across to Xiao. Now Turner. He's got Mullane running, should use him. But no, he doesn't. He elects to go further forward, sensibly so, because 55 metres out is Banks. Plays on, in towards Williams in the pocket. Where's he going to go? He's under pressure. Snaps in towards full forward. No mark taken. McCann, a high kick. There's no one at home for North Melbourne. It's all Collingwood, and it'll be Tony Shaw. Bradbury does the shepherding. He goes short. Morwood marks 60 metres out. Well, he plays on. Taylor's the target. Taylor 40 metres out, directly in front. Now, is this goal number 50 for BT for the season? Brian Taylor. Directly in front. Having been coached by Peter McKenna. Should not miss. And he does not. There you are, Pete. Done your work, so too has Brian Taylor. So the Magpies hit the front here on Sevens Big League. They lead North Melbourne by 5 points, and we've played just over 12 minutes of this first term here at Victoria Park. Brian Taylor, 50 goals for the season. For those people wondering where Bob Skilton is, I sincerely wish he was here, but he is hopefully on his way. And at the moment, flying down from Brisbane. Back to the centre. Fellows has got to stand while McCann has a decent old run at him. He was tackled too high. He was still able to get it down towards Shane Kerrison, who kicked a half forward, and a great mark taken by Cloak. On they go to Morwood. Morwood's got Hanley running. He'll set sail for goal. Pushes it across the face and 1 point over. By gee, they've extracted the digit in the last few minutes, Collingwood. And are looking the goods. North doing all the attacking in the opening 5 minutes. But in the last 7 or 8, it's been Collingwood. Cloak again. Can't take it. Morwood's had a fine start. So too has Mullane. Now little Hanley's chipped in across that 50-metre line to take the mark. Players running everywhere. Tony Shaw ignored. Taylor is the focal point. He got up a fraction too early. Was lucky he didn't give away the free kick. No, he has. He has. Takes out the mouth guard and says, but, well, play goes on. And North Melbourne, they're mucking round with it. Peter German will have to be quick. Pushed back towards Handley, under pressure, and he's ridden into the ground. Well, there's consistency, and the Collingwood fans like that, because it was that one that they say didn't help them last week. Handley. So it'll be Handley 15 metres out, but on a very, very acute angle. Right on the boundary line. His kick going right across the face of goal, and I think out of bounds on the foot. Brian Taylor taking the mark, but it had gone out. And I was just talking about that little chimp who I said I hoped would be here. Well, I'm happy to report that he is. Robert, welcome back to Victoria.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
It's a pleasure to see you, I'm sure. We're only 15 minutes into the first term. Passmore towards centre wing. Chance for Collingwood again, picked up by Bradbury, across to Moore. Geez, he had a start. Intercepted, however, by Cracker. Now an opportunity for Jonas from North Melbourne, but a great mark. Tremendous mark taken by Danny Xiao. And as he started well too, gives it out towards Mullane, who's really got a roving commission from the half-back line down to the half-forward line. Goes short to Turner. He's across half-back. He'll look towards Wes Fellows out wide on the wing. And Bobby...
They're going the long way home, though, Sandy.
Well, they have been, but North started magnificently, kicked a goal early through Peter Jonas and had a number of other opportunities, but Collingwood with quick goals from Brian Taylor and Peter Dacos, and probably for the last 8 or 9 minutes, have really looked the far better side.
So the bounce right on the 50-metre line. Collingwood forward area. Cloak up high, got the ball down. Williams gets a short kick forward. Dacos traps it beautifully. The hand pass across to Bradbury. He goes goalward. Just offline, though. A poor kick by Peter Bradbury, and 1 point goes on the board. 1 point takes Collingwood to 2-2. North Melbourne 1-1 as Glendenning plays on from full-back. Puts it out wide. Buckley couldn't take the mark. Gafer gets the hand pass across. Abernathy goes with a long kick forward, looking for Taylor. Taylor, a great effort. Almost taken away by his own teammate. He may have just snatched it. High off the boot. Holt it was who tried to get the ball clear. Pack forming. And so we find the bounce to take place. Forward pocket for Collingwood, only about 20 metres out from goal. Darren Crocker, along with Dennis Banks. McCann up high. Not a clear tap. Ackley was in underneath the pack. I think the umpire will have no choice but to bounce it once again. Same position, 20 metres out from goal, forward pocket. Cloak's in there for Collingwood. Gets the tap towards goal. Crocker intercepts, puts the ball back towards the half-back flank. Punched away, though, by Abernathy coming over the top. Good play by Abernathy. Throw in, half-forward flank. Cloak and McCann hit each other. German takes it out with a hand pass, and we find Larkin putting the ball up towards the centre wing, over the boundary line on the full. So the resultant free kick will be taken by Greg Phillips of Collingwood.
Recovered from that knock he received early on in the game when he was in the hands of the trainers for a minute or so. Phillips goes short to Fellows. Gain absolutely nothing there, but Wes can swing round and go long onto the left foot. Williams the target. One grab, can't complete it. Passmore gets the hand pass across to McCann. He's brought to ground. Picked up by Cracker. Out towards Hickey. Hickey marks on the defensive side of centre. Now attacks towards Jonas. Again, just tries to tap it forward to Fairley. Is successful on this occasion. He drops back into that hole. Again, Jonas tries to tap it over the back to Arceri. But Turner is equal to the task for Collingwood. Gets it out to Bradbury on the half-back line, and he takes the mark. Plays on, quickly across to Gafer. Look out, because Mullane is there. Coming at him was Crocker. He got his kick in time to Banks. Picks it up nicely. Past Tony Shaw, onto Morwood. What a start he's had. Back to Tony Shaw. Shaw swings onto the left foot, but just left it a fraction too late. Kerrison's hand pass in towards the pocket. McKeon is there, close to the boundary line, and goes out. And was he on the full, or had he kicked it after he'd gone over the line, I think?
He must have gone over the line first, Sandy.
Yep. How was Brisbane?
Very good, Sandy. Lovely weather.
Yes, well, Melbourne now, 12 degrees. Freezing. And you've bought no coffee. Here's the throw-in. Cloak.
Didn't have any on the plane. Well, they had the coffee, but not the thermos.
So, who will it be? Roscoe Glendenning handing it across to McCann. He's in the back pocket. Cloak the man on the mark. Back towards the centre. Fellows will come over the top, and he's juggled it. He's got it. Straight on to Greg Phillips. Normally it's Greg who likes to get the handball out, doesn't like the kick. Looking for Abernethy. He'll recover beautifully. Finding Peter Bradbury, spearing one into Taylor, and that's football.
Collingwood playing well at the moment. They've really taken control in this last few minutes of play. North Melbourne really having trouble getting the ball past the half-forward line. Ryan Taylor, 25 metres out from goal. No angle of note. Should have no trouble bringing up his second goal. Ross Glendenning on the mark.
And his 51st for the season, Robert.
So, Brian Taylor. The fans indicate, as the goal umpire does, the second goal to Brian Taylor.
Who was your selection, Bob, in this game?
I went for Collingwood, Sandy. How about you?
Yes, Collingwood. Having seen North last week.
Well, I think you can't always go by that, though, can you?
No, you certainly can't. But, I don't know, just got without Phil. Seemed to quiet Jimmy a bit
forward
as
line
well.
doesn't have anywhere near the same bite, does it? Centre bounce. Knocked away by Fellows. Tony Shaw's short kick. Crocker coming through, couldn't get the ball clear. Shaw kicks it off the ground again. McKeon at the back. Took it for long enough for mine, and so too the umpire. So McKeon from 45 metres out from goal. Umpire Ian Robinson indicating that nobody can come near McKeon. So Ron McKeon off the boot. Plenty of length, but no accuracy, and 1 point goes on the board. 1 point to Ron McKeon takes Collingwood to 3 goals, 21 points. North Melbourne 1-1-7.
Glendenning bringing the ball back into play. McCann's the target, but Fellows is in front of him now. 5 marks to Wes, and this is what Collingwood and Lee Matthews want. Fellows firing, or Taylor should be free kicked, I possibly thought then, but no. Play goes on to Peter German at half-back, and he can run on. Will he get round Gafer? Gives out the hand pass to Holt, who's a perfect left foot kick. And there's an example. Arceri caught behind, and Handley takes a good mark. He's come into his own. Plays on now. Gets his kick down towards centre wing. Cracker was held. Play goes on. Morwood, yet another touch. No, he's got to bring it back because he was held, Jimmy. Short to McCann. Now North go in towards their left half forward flank area, and you can see that ball, a dramatic leg break, run away from Darren Handley and go over the line for a throw-in. North in attack, and they want a goal. They trail by 14 points. Fellows again. Picked it up. Couldn't get it clear. Jonas needs support from Arceri. He looks for and gets the free kick. And one of North's real goers is the kick. Looking for McDonald. Does it too easily on that occasion. And only 35 metres out, directly in front, a chance to make the margin 8 points. Himself a long run up. Stammers slightly, then fires away with a drop punt. Poor kick. 1 point. Directly in front like that, should have been able to convert. Not the case. 3-3, Collingwood. North a 1-goal 2. We're about to go into time on this first term. As Abernethy brings the ball back into play. Turner will come over the top trying to push it forward. Can't do so. Atkins tries to get it to Arceri. Now Buckley. Clear to half forward. He's looking for Holt. Just a little too far and lets Greg Phillips in to half forward. McKeon tapped it over the back. Looking for Cloak. Finds him. Oh, set up Ronnie. Straight back to him, and he was smothered. Law caught to Passmore. Beautiful smother by Morwood. Here they go. McKeon on to Morwood. Can give it to Banks. He better be quick. Swings round now, Morwood. Kicks to full forward. Out comes the hand pass to Banks, and he will go. Well, again, he seemed to do it the hard way, but, Bobby, they got there.
Yes, but when you say the hard way, Sandy, it was probably by misuse of the ball, because Morwood possibly could have kicked the goal. Yep. He had the chance of, if he took it, the hand pass across, and it almost ran through Williams' legs. He then got the hand pass through. So any one of the players could easily have kicked a goal. At the moment, Collingwood are completely in control.
2 goals to Taylor, 1 to Banks, 1 to Dacos. 4-3, plays 1-2. Centre bounce again. 1 by Fellows. Look at this, they give it to Shaw, but this time it's smothered as Buckley gets it clear to his skipper. Schimmelbusch goes long, up towards the forward line. Xiao from behind attempted to mark on that occasion, was not successful. Turner lends him good support. Over the head of Mullane, he'll just tap it forward, and does so. Goes over the line, just about down to centre wing, and another throw.
So throw in, Sandy said, almost on centre wing. Members' side of the ground. 4-3 to 1-2 in favour of Collingwood. Taken by German, hooked over the shoulder, over the head of Phillips. Spargo taps the ball away. Jonas picks it up. Off the side of the boot, Tony Shaw waiting there and shows great courage to back, not knowing who was coming or what was coming, and in typical Tony Shaw fashion took the mark. Got it onto Fellows. 15-metre penalty will be paid against Buckley. No, it's called play on because he wasn't going to take advantage of it anyway, as Tony Shaw goes short, finds Dacos, and Dacos midway between the centre and centre wing. Puts it wide, half forward flank, Cloak the player, takes an easy mark, getting away from Law with a nice lead. Called play on by the umpire, goes across, Banks from behind, over the back it comes. Couldn't be taken that time by Handley, and so Ackley for North Melbourne takes it away. Atkins bundled out of the way, should get a free kick, and will get the free kick. So Graham Atkins, centre wing. Thought about the hand pass, but now elects to does give the hand pass on now. Hickey accepts it. Hickey puts a long kick down. Fairley and Seow, punched away by Seow, and over the boundary line it goes. So a throw-in will take place, forward pocket for North Melbourne, with North Melbourne on 8 points, Collingwood 27, 25 minutes into the first term.
Yes, into time on. And while North have it down in this forward line, let's see if they can convert. Again, Fellows in front. Jimmy Cracker can't take it cleanly. Picked up by Peter German. He fires in towards full forward. Fisted defensively by Phillips towards the line. Sow keeps it in. And only momentarily, because he's gone out of bounds on the full. And I think it might be Peter German who will bring it back. So German, 65 metres out, or wobbles one off the side of the boot. But either that or it was a perfect pass to Donald McDonald.
I think it wobbled.
And he can kick this, Donald McDonald, from here. He'll virtually kick from the 50-metre line. There's the drop punt. Deep in towards goal. No worries. Has it made it? It has. And that's a very handy one for North Melbourne. Donald is delighted, and so he should be, because it keeps them in touch. 2-2 plays 4-3 on Seven's big lead.
So very close to the line, Sandy, with the goal umpire was in perfect position there, looking straight out across it. And, so good goal by Donald McDonald. That's the man himself, urging his side on. Both McDonald and Fellows taking a very long run, although McDonald is coming quite close now. High bounce. McDonald taps it wide. Atkins couldn't take it. He's still in there, though. Loses possession. McDonald comes out with it. Can't get the hand pass in, though. Oh, that is the most ridiculous decision I have seen, because umpire Robinson was behind, couldn't see what McDonald was doing with the ball, so should have been a ball up. Dacos puts it forward. Williams taps it over the top. Handley ran into the umpire. Morwood, given the benefit of the doubt, taps it on towards Mullane.
She's at a quarterback.
Mullane takes it, a lovely pass from Mullane, finds Banks. Thought about playing on straight away, but 55 metres out from goal, he now elects to come back. Looking for a lead, gets it, goes across towards Morwood. Two juggles, and so Shane Morwood about to have his 6th kick and 7 handballs. 13 possessions for a quarter is a reasonable quarter, Sandy.
Certainly is. He's been hot from the word go.
I think, going by all reports, it's been the way for the last few weeks.
Let's see what he does. He's at the 50-metre line. They've been able to answer the challenge every time. Oh, dear! Ronnie McKeon.
Well, there are some players that you must not let get a run on you, Sandy, and McKeon is one of them.
Certainly did. Well, he had a big day a few weeks ago, bagging 8. He might have to do a check side here. Let's see what he does. On the siren. He fires at goal and puts through a point. So, with that point from McKeon, Collingwood at quarter time, 4-4, 28, North Melbourne 2-2, 14 on Seven's Big League. Collingwood go into the second term here at Victoria Park, leading North Melbourne by 14 points. 4-4 plays 2-2. Now to the second quarter. McDonald a mighty run, but he's beaten by Fellows. Crackers, kickers partly smothered. Picked up by Bradbury like lightning to Tony Shaw. Down towards Banks, smothered by or spoiled by Passmore, who does well to pick it up, wobble a punt back towards centre wing. Right, gee, Fellows has dominated the airwaves. To Turner. Cloak waits at the back. Banks, 2 grabs. This time he's got it. 60 metres out. Taylor gives him a lead. Going with him is Williams. Taylor will come over the top. I wonder whether they both should have flown.
Actually, I think Williams is playing in front of Taylor too much, Sandy.
Cracker. Receiving from Ackley. Towards Jonas. 1 grab. Waiting down Arseri. Chasing is Gayfar. Back to Jonas at the 50-metre line. He hooks it to the half-forward line, but no one home. Only Tony Shaw for Collingwood.
So Shaw, centre half-back. Hand passes across to Michael Gayfar. Gayfar has the full distance he's allowed. A poor kick by Michael Gayfar. No distance whatsoever, and straight into the arms of John Holt. Holt with a nice-looking pass, finds McCann, and 60 metres out from goal, Stephen McCann. So too far out to score. A kick from McCann up towards the goal square. Fellows couldn't take the mark. Handley coming through, but it runs off the hands of the pack and through for 1 point. And North Melbourne bringing up the first score of the term. So they go to 2-3 with Collingwood on 4-4. Bruce Abernathy to bring the ball back into play. It's a nice looking kick, a well-placed kick, right into the arms of Darren Mullane. Mullane towards centre wing, Seow there, and that's a nice mark. Showed a lot of courage there. So Danny Seow on the centre wing. All play on by the umpire, so he easily runs around and kicks with the left foot. Cloak tried to tap it on. Bradbury comes through. Hand passes to Morwood. Likewise McKeon, who can't handle the ball cleanly. Atkins gives the hand pass across now, and German under pressure hooks the ball up towards the wing. Arseri got an awkward bounce but trapped it beautifully. Well tackled by Handley, but a nice hand pass out towards Larkin. Turner coming in, taken by German. He's under real pressure but does get the hand pass. Misses him, his teammate Arseri completely. Comes back to Arseri now. He taps it on. And eventually we find it kicked off the ground, picked up by Phillips, who puts the ball wide. Seow coming from one side, Holt coming from the other. Seow first on the scene, gets the hand pass in. Abernathy kicks it off the ground. Schimmelbusch had the opportunity but fumbled. Over the line it goes, and a throw-in will take place midway between centre wing and half-forward flank for Collingwood.
Throw in.
For North Melbourne, I should say.
I was going to say that Brisbane trip's been agreeing with you. Fellows over the top. Banks, but he won't keep it in play. So another throw in. Dacos. Banks. Cracker. McCann coming over the top. Crocker caught. Dacos. Law didn't quite hit him. Law again, receiving the hand pass from German. Back with Peter German. He's in 2 minds and he mucked it up as Greg Phillips intercepted beautifully. Played by Phillips, but a poor kick straight down to Donald McDonald, who dropped what he should have taken. Dacos, this time Law got him. And listen to the Collingwood fans. Out to Turner. Atkins wanted it more. Steadies. fires in towards goal. Won't make the distance, but it doesn't matter because the mark has been taken by Ian Fairley.
Fairley not looking for any leads, but there was none forthcoming anyway. So North just seem to be lacking a little bit of enthusiasm at the moment. Normally under these circumstances, as Fairley plays on, runs around, hooks the left foot and puts it through for 1 point. As I was saying, Sandy, normally when a player is right on the boundary line, you get players running in for the short kick, and there was nobody at all, whether they were covered or not, even making an attempt to do it.
Abernethy. This time going to the outer side. Fellows again the target. He's been in charge of the aerial work. Bradbury brought to ground, made no real attempt to get rid of it, but he was well covered by the same token. He certainly settled in at Collingwood. Fellows again. Jonas onto the right boot to the half-forward line. Kerrison and Cracker. The former thumps it clear, but the latter could pick it up. No, he gets taken to ground. And good persistence by Kerrison sees it over the line for a throw-in. No, in fact, he's brought it back and is going to give a free kick. Oh, gee, I didn't pick up what it was for, Bobby. But it'll be taken by Hickey. North to their half-forward line. Fellows just ambles across. Should have taken the mark, but didn't. Phillips' hand pass intercepted by Schimmelbusch. He fires at goal, but he's off target, and another point goes on the board. We don't want the Collingwood fans upset again this week.
I don't think they're too happy with John Law at the moment. It was a very fair bump,
Yep.
a beautiful hip and shoulder, Sandy.
It was.
Abernethy puts the ball back. That's a lovely kick from Abernethy. Fellows at the back. Thought about playing on. Well, now where's Fellows? Puts it out wide. They're covering a lot of territory, Collingwood. They're not going direct at all. And when you've got Cloak at centre half forward with a height advantage, there is Morwood and Hickey. Hickey taps the ball on. Handley picks it up. Well, every picture tells a story. I don't think there's any doubt about that free kick. Handley passes to, hand passes that was to Gafer, in towards the centre, but it's all North Melbourne in there. Oh, McDonald. He goes straight down the ground. Phillips from behind. Recovers beautifully. A hand pass out wide towards Handley. In towards the centre, and once again it's McDonald. Misses a sitter. Gets the hand pass over the top, taken by Buckley. Straight down the ground. Jimmy Crackett, Kerrison, and a good mark taken by Kerrison.
Shane Kerrison in the back pocket. He's got Danny Seow short if he wants him, or he can go longer towards Banks, and at the back is Bradbury. At the front, Hickey. Well tackled. Buckley brought to ground. So too Fairley. Seow a chance. Oh, does it nicely. Gives it across to Banks. In turn to Dacos. He'll cop another one. And this time it'll be free kick. So Peter Dacos from the defensive side of centre wing spirals a punt, looking for Cloak. Fisted clear, waiting down Bradbury. Onto the left foot he goes with a torp, in towards the left forward pocket where it goes out of bounds. And so a throw in to take place, but Collingwood, well, they haven't been into attack a lot in this term. They have played for almost 9 minutes and have not added to their quarter-time score. McDonald and Cloak. McDonald palms it down, but straight to Tony Shaw, who threw it to Mark Williams. Williams kick. Taylor now. Who's going to be first to recover? Crocker towards the line. There's a North player down and holding his head. Is it David Ackley?
Looks like Ackley.
Well, he's holding he's holding his eye, I think.
Ackley to stay down, Sandy. There must be something wrong.
I'll keep an eye on Ackley. You have a look at the game.
The ball in towards the centre. Gafer there. Try to get the hand pass out. Phillips. He can't get the ball clear, so a bounce will take place on the centre square line. About 65 metres out from goal as David Ackley in the hands of the trainer. David Ackley does wear glasses, Sandy, so whether or not there's something wrong with the contact lens that I do believe Ackley wears.
Well, that could be it.
He looks pretty groggy, Sandy. Back with the play. Larkin trying to get the ball clear. And so Larkin, Mullane, and Mullane on the mark. The hand pass comes to Atkins from Larkin. Swings it back in towards the centre. Bursting through with Seau, playing excellently for Collingwood. In towards the centre. Cloak's there this time and takes a very strong mark. Hand passes to Gayfer. Gayfer thought about kicking it, then realised there was a hand pass on. Bradbury gets it out to Banks. Chance of a score. A long kick by Dennis Banks right through the centre for his second goal.
Great play by Collingwood, and it would appear as though you're right, David Ackley is holding the left eye. He is now leaving the ground, but in the meantime Dennis Banks has shot Collingwood clear. 35 plays 17.
Delighted Collingwood fans.
Is the centre bounce.
Spargo back on, Sandy, with Ackley going off.
Right. Spargo going down to his spot. We're back in the middle. Fellows could have been free kick. In fact, I think he will be. She's played a game.
He's playing well, Sandy.
Seven kicks. 8 marks. 3 hand passes. Been a fine performance. Cloak couldn't take it. Trying to burst his way through was Bradbury. Still at the bottom of the pack trying to get it out is Peter Bradbury, but they cover up over the top. He's got no hope of getting out of there.
Did a good job though, Sandy.
My word, he did. David Ackley, incidentally, is being taken straight round to the rooms. Let's hope he's okay. Cloak couldn't get it out, nor too could Mark Williams. It's inside Collingwood's 50-metre line. Another goal here. It's going to start putting real pressure on North Melbourne. Can they get out of it? Arsiri receives. They will, but only momentarily. Morwood couldn't take the mark. Turner, was he pushed? No, said the umpire. Bradbury loses control as it goes over the line as he regains it. And so another throw-in to take place.
18 points in favour of Collingwood, 12 minutes into the second term. From the throw-in, Cloak in the front position, got a push in the back. And very foolish free kick. Actually, maybe McDonald might have slipped, I think, Sandy. It's Cloak. Waving the drop punt, a nice looking kick. Taylor in the middle, couldn't take it. Banks coming through, gets the short kick. It's all North Melbourne as Passmore gets it. Puts the short kick out wide towards the half-back flank. And 50 metres from goal, over the boundary line it goes. And a throw-in to take place. Taylor and McDonald. Over the top came Williams, no clear tap. A pack forming, and the umpire, John Russo, having no choice but to come in and elect to bounce the ball. As Taylor says, get out of my way. Ryan Taylor. And this time it'll be Cloak competing against McDonald. Cloak got the tap, used his body well. Free kick has been found here. And it's going the way of Collingwood. We'll find Mark Williams to come out with the kick. Swings it across towards half forward. Taylor coming across, but a nice mark by John Holt coming across in front of Brian Taylor. It's John Holt from centre half back, going very wide, straight out towards the half back flank. And great play by Mullane, coming across, intercepted beautifully, goes towards goal. He's offline, and a 1 point the result, but a beautiful interception by Darren Mullane.
Very exciting young player, rewarded with state squad selection. And who knows, in a few weeks could well be representing the state. Dacos over the top to effect the spoil. Through he goes, met by Spargo. Bradbury lending him support, but at the 50-metre line, Collingwood's attacking zone. Peter Bradbury looking far more at home in the football outfit than he did at the players' night. He was dressed in a skirt. Buckley through, but without the football. Banks a hurried kick down towards Taylor. It's only got a sit. He needs a player going past. Buckley taps it back towards Glendinning. Williams pounces upon it, tries to come out with it, but John Russo says, no, gentlemen, we'll have another bounce. So we've played almost 15 minutes. Just over the halfway mark of this term. That's a nice tap. Beautiful tap by Cloak to Taylor, and BT says, thank you very much. But that one belonged to David Cloak.
Yes, and I thought Cloak should have been free kicks, Andy. I thought he got right into the back of Donald McDonald. But nonetheless, it was a nice goal to Brian Taylor and a good piece of ruck work. If you get away with it, all well and good.
Taylor now 3 goals, Banks 2 and Dacos 1 for Collingwood. North, it's a different story. Singles to McDonald and Jonas. 6-6, plays 2-5. Back for the centre bounce again. Fellows wins it handsomely. Picked up by Peter German, however. Looking towards the half-forward line. At the back is Jonas. He couldn't take it cleanly. Fairly slung off the football. Arceri couldn't take it. Scooped out the back. Cracker puts German under pressure as he pushes it wide. Now an opportunity for Crocker, who's lurked way down to that half-forward line, and I think it's goal. He has. So a much-needed one to North Melbourne, kicked by Darren Crocker, and that is their 3rd. They move to 3-5, trailing Collingwood 6-6 on Seven's big lead.
So a 14-point advantage to Collingwood at quarter time, and right now 19 points. So Collingwood have gained 5 points in 15 minutes of football. This is the board, 42-23. A little surprised to see Fairley on the forward line, Sandy, because every time we've seen North Melbourne this year, he's done a good job in defence. Bounce favours Fellows. Holt floats the ball towards the half-forward line. An awkward one to mark, but an excellent mark by Peter Jonas. And Jonas, 65 metres out from goal. It's across the ground. And a good mark taken there by Donald McDonald, 55 metres out. John Law going down the ground, takes it, thought about going on, so after 2 kicks, they've only gained about 20 metres closer to goal, but Law now within kicking distance. He'll kick from about 50 metres from goal. Nice looking kick from John Law. May have hit the post. And at 1 point goes on the board to North Melbourne. So they go to 3 goals, 6, trailing by 18 points. Collingwood on 6-6.
Once again, it will be Abernethy who'll bring it back into play. Straight down the middle. Fellows spoilt by McDonald, waiting down Phillips, out wide Turner. Over the head of Ronnie McKeon. Oh, Banks courageously. Courage shown by both players on that occasion. But Banks to take it. Now Williams gives him a lead. Cloak is in front. 1, 2, 3, 4 grabs. Thank you, says David. And Cloak, he'll have a shot 40 metres out. Hasn't goal to date. Dennis Banks receiving a little bit of encouragement. He did well on that occasion. Here's the kick from David Cloak. Drop punt on its way. It's good. Collingwood answer the challenge. 7-6 plays 3-6 on Sevens. Big lead.
As you said, Sandy, Dennis Banks popped a solid one there. It was a very courageous mark, and he's made a big difference to Collingwood since coming back. Hasn't had a lot of luck with injuries. There's the man we're talking of. Number 12 for Collingwood, Dennis Banks. And a good goal to David Cloak. Centre bounce, 7-6 to 3-6. McDonald of North Melbourne, Fellows of Collingwood. Fellows wins a tap. Tony Shaw trying to take it. Atkins picks it up. Kick smothered off the boot. Comes out towards Holt. Hooks it back towards half forward, but it's all Collingwood. And an easy mark taken by Bruce Abernethy. Abernethy has Fellows on his own.
Tony Shaw
gives it on to Shaw. Not a good hand pass, but Tony Shaw having plenty of time. Now he goes short to Banks again, and Banks 45 metres out from goal. So Dennis Banks has 2 goals on the board, one in the first term, one so far in this term, and he could easily put it through from 45 metres out. Dennis Banks going for Collingwood's 8th goal. Won't quite make the distance, and it's a good mark to Brian Taylor.
Good about playing on Oregon, BT.
So it was good play by McDonald to make sure that Taylor wasn't able to. And he's being brought around. Ross Glendenning indicating to his teammates, come around and make sure that he doesn't run around. So it's Jimmy Cracker, the player, who's waiting just in case Taylor runs around. And Brian Taylor will still run around, I think. No, doesn't elect to. Doesn't matter because he's brought up goal number 4. 2 goals in the first term, 2 in this term. And if you wanted proof of just what a full forward kicking goals can mean to a side, just look at Collingwood since Brian Taylor has really started to hit his straps.
53 goals for the season for Brian Taylor.
John Law now at full back on Brian Taylor. Ross Glendenning coming out to centre half back against David Cloak. There's John Law and Brian Taylor. Not the man with the towel and the drink.
Here's the centre bounce. 30 points the margin. Favouring Collingwood. Morwood. What a game he's having. Poor kick, however, on this occasion. And the mark taken by Spargo as one of our cameramen show their exasperation, because North Melbourne are out of strife. Down towards centre wing. Arsiri, but he can't get there in time. The ball goes over the line. A throw in on the outer side. Collingwood lead by 30 points. We played just on 20 minutes of the second term. Still plenty of football left. Collingwood, of course, last week had a winning lead and kissed it goodnight. Glendenning is having trouble finding form at the moment, Roscoe, isn't he, Bob?
Nowhere near the Ross Glendenning Brownlow medalist, Eddie.
Yep.
Throw in between centre wing and half forward flank for Collingwood. Cloak got the tap, not a clear one. Then McDonald taps it on. Morwood coming through. The hand pass wide. Smothered off the boot. And good play there as Morwood comes back in to indicate to Darren Malone, I'm sorry I made it a little bit awkward. And another throw in. Cloak and McCann. Cloak used his body beautifully, got the hand pass out. Tony Shaw to Abernathy. Abernathy's kick wobbles forward. Passmore was held but called play on. Arsiri in there, cannot get the ball clear. Picked up by Banks, hand pass over the top. Tony Shaw, Glendenning, Dacos coming through.
Hill
will find a bounce to take place right on the 50-metre line. Umpire Russo coming in to indicate that he'll bounce the ball. Quite a big pack of players around the ball. Williams, McCann got the tap wide. Players diving in after it, and umpire Russo decides to bounce the ball once again, this time 45 metres out from the Collingwood goal. We're 21 and a half minutes into the second term at Victoria Park. A 30-point lead to Collingwood, 54-24.
right on the 50-metre line. North looking to get out of trouble. German caught, scooped it out. Arsiri wide towards the boundary line. Atkins in front of Mullane, just gets his kick in time, but under pressure. Phillips over the line and another throw. Good Gregory. Here's the throw in again. Fellows, he's having a wonderful day. Playing in front to half forward. Who's waiting down? Morwood. Oh, he just couldn't quite get it clear. Out the back it comes. Holt across to Arsiri. Needs support. Gets it in the form of Passmore. The left foot kick finds Jonas. 65 metres out. He can kick one when he gets onto it. In towards half forward. Schimmelbusch waiting at the back. Pressured towards the boundary line. And free kick. Helwell's not in possession. Abernethy is not happy. Now Shimmer can kick these. That'll give you an idea of the angle he's on. He hasn't goaled today. Drop punt. Going right across the face of goal. And a fine taken by Wes Fellows, or it had gone through. No. That's mark number 10.
Bad in the half of football, Sandy.
Oh, he's having a great day.
Mullane taps it down. It comes back to Mullane. Loose ball comes out, kicked off the ground. Larkin first on the scene. The hand pass over the top finds Buckley. Buckley with a quick left foot kick up towards the forward pocket. McDonald hand passes over the top, finds Hickey. Can he get it clear? He cannot. Collingwood players desperately diving on the ball and force it through for one rush point to North Melbourne. So it's Collingwood 8-6, North Melbourne 3-7. 54 to 25. Bruce Abernathy looks for Bradbury this time. Holt up high, a great effort by Holt, but just couldn't grab it on the second attempt. Holt hand passes after taking it from Jonas. Dacos puts the ball down. The hand pass comes out to Fairley. Arsiri tried to tap the ball on after Buckley got the hand pass out. Hanley picks it up for Collingwood and goes across the ground. Seau there, gets a favourable bounce. Puts it on towards Mullane. Mullane has the lead from Banks. A beautiful pass from Mullane right onto the chest of Dennis Banks. Banks too goes short. And an equally good pass. Nearly went through David Cloak. It was that good. Danny Seau, a beautiful blind turn. Finds Morwood. Morwood finds Fellows. Mark number 11. The hand pass across to Phillips. He goes short. And on his own is Ronnie McEwen. McEwen 50 metres out from goal. Has Phillips across the ground. Now he goes across and a lovely pass finds Greg Phillips. So how loose are North Melbourne at the moment, Sandy?
I'm more worried about Greg, a state defender for South Australia, and he's going to have a shot. But he's played plenty of football up in the forward lines over his career. Let's see, he'll be delighted if he kicks this. Obviously had a chat to BT and said,
everyone loves a goal, Sandy, but when you're a defender, it just means a little bit more.
He's listened to BT. Look, he's got the perfect approach. I think he's gone. Oh, Gregory. How good's this? Now back down to the back lines. He's wrapped. So Collingwood go to 9-6-60. North Melbourne a 3-7-25 on Seven's big lead.
Phillips now back at centre half back, so he came right down the ground. He was in the thick of things upfield, continued on down. Beautiful play by Greg Phillips. Centre bounce, there's the board, 60 to 25.
Into time on, Bob.
McCann got the tap. Schimmelbusch's kick was actually smothered by Hickey. Hanley can't get the ball clear. Smothered by Morwood. Picked up by Holt. Another kick smothered. Holt tackled by Tony Shaw. And Shaw did well to keep the ball in the centre of the ground. So another bounce to take place. Tony Shaw. But it's a bounce. 5 metres from the centre circle. Fellows gets the tap. Tapped on by Cloak. Across to Hanley. Hanley goes long. Brian Taylor takes a lovely mark.
Played by
Taylor's
Cloak.
all the way. Good play by Cloak, Sandy. It really was. Playing excellently, Cloak, as Brian Taylor will be lining up from directly in front, 35 metres out from goal for his 5th goal. So Taylor. .35 metres out. A kick from Taylor spears the centre and 5 goals on the board to Brian Taylor as Collingwood go to 10 goals 6. 66. North Melbourne 3-7-25. He's the player that was responsible for that goal, David Cloak, with a lovely tap on. Has played well. In fact, it's pretty hard to find a weakness in the Collingwood side at the moment.
They've looked good, haven't they? 66 plays 25 as we go back for the centre bounce. Fellows again wins it. Hanley across to Shaw, waiting out his Banks. Here we go again, Collingwood. At the back is BT. Thank you. He's kicked 5. And Collingwood fans delirious.
Well, if I were Ian Fairley, I'd probably be saying to myself, well, don't put me on Taylor after he's kicked 5 or 6. But after the way he has played in defence, and he's the man that I'd put down there, because it's asking a lot of John Law, even though he's done it time and time again. He gives away height in the key position.
The drop punt from Taylor. He's drifted that across the face of goal. And 1 point up. Never really looked like it, that one. Now, there's been a change made by North Melbourne. Spargo is leaving the ground. Looks as though David Ackley is fitting well again, and that's good news. Could have been right with that contact lens. Fellows, beaten this time by McCann, plays on, puts German under pressure. He in turn to Law, across the centre, towards the boundary line, and David Ackley, who's just walked between the two white lines, can go back again now because it's half-time. And at half-time, Collingwood are enjoying a handy lead. 10-7, 67, a 6-goal term. North Melbourne, 3-7, 25 on 7's big lead.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
Collingwood go into the third term at Victoria Park with a 42-point lead over North Melbourne, and North have rung in the changes right down the centre line of the ground as we go for the opening bounce of this third term. Fellows carries on where he left off in the first half. It was a magnificent half of football. Hickey picks it up, puts North into attack. They want the first goal and they want it quickly. Glendinning down across that half-forward line now. There's one change. Siri down in the forward pocket. Can he get there? No, he can't. Socket off the ground by Crocker, and it's a goal. So Darren Crocker's been moved, Bob, to what? Down into centre half forward.
Well, right down the goal line, as you said, Sandy. McCann is at full back on Brian Taylor, who has kicked 5 goals. Fairley is now at centre half back on David Cloak. Crocker at centre half forward, and Glendinning now down at full forward.
67 plays 31. That's just what North Melbourne wanted. Can they go on with it now in the third term? Collingwood fans, no doubt, they do start to get a couple more. We'll start thinking of last week. That nightmare finish from the bounce. Jimmy Cracker been pretty quiet today, but puts North down to half forward. Here's a chance for Siri again. Gets well collared across to Glendinning. He gets caught, beautifully tackled. Hanley repels the attack. Law in front. Banks does the defensive work. Atkins waits down, gives it across to Hickey. He's clear with a long sweeping hand pass to Larkins in the centre of the ground.
Dacos in trouble, Sandy.
He is too, behind play to the half-forward line. Beautifully picked up by Holt. He can goal on that left foot, but this time it's very wide and, in fact, goes out of bounds on the full.
He's okay now.
Yep, I think he's all right. Phillips. Xiao. At half-back. To Gaffer. Oh, what are they doing? Back to Xiao. Shaw will take it uncontested mark. Always quick to play on. Williams the target, and he takes it on the chest. Has the player in Mullane out wide, but he was put under pressure with that hand pass. Atkins was right on his hammer. Williams again trying to make amends now. Close to the boundary line, he's fiddling about with it, gets a kick and puts it straight out of bounds on the foot.
Well, he was in possession anyway, I felt there, Sandy.
Yep.
So David Ackley, good to see Ackley back out there. He did look as though it might have been a serious injury, but he has got a decent shiner there, Sandy.
He has, hasn't he? So might not have been the contact lens after all.
Free kick has been found, goes the way of Collingwood. Dacos hoping for the advantage rule, but I agree with that. Everybody had stopped, including Peter Dacos. And so it comes back to Wes Fellows, who's played an excellent game so far. Fellows towards centre half forward. Williams got rid of Ackley, but the mark has been taken by Ian Fairley. Typical Williams, isn't it? I say that with admiration. As Fairley puts it wide. Larkin couldn't take the ball. Fellows once again. Across to Banks. Not a good looking kick from Banks. An awkward bounce for Passmore. It comes through to Tony Shaw. Across to Bradbury. Bradbury goes short. A beautiful pass. Taylor had McCann stranded. And Brian Taylor has kicked 5 goals so far. Stephen McCann, his third opponent. He had Ross Glendenning, then John Law, and now Stephen McCann. There's the board at the back, 10-7 to 4-7. So Brian Taylor. His kick, 1 point only the result. So 5 straight since up to his first point. Now he's put 2 points on the board with relatively easy shots. Ackley brings it back into play. Larkin misses the sitter. Law has it tapped away by Banks. Dacos held. Keeper's still there. Good play, Dacos.
And pushed. Oh, dear. And listen to the Collingwood fans. No wonder. Banks is shaking his head and saying, what is going on? Here's the bounce. Dacos again. Couldn't take it. Bradbury the tackler. And another bounce. Virtually right in the middle of the ground. Cloak. Bustled out of it. Tony Shaw out wide to Mike Gaffer. Short, effective, Kerrison. Williams gives him a lead, but he ignores it. He floats one to Brian Taylor. Waiting down now is Williams. Law heads towards the boundary line, and perfectly done. 1 bounce and she's over. So a throw in to take place from Collingwood's right half-forward flank. The Maggies leading 68 to 31. Collingwood have added only 1 point for the term, although we've only played just on 6 minutes. Dacos
loses the ball. Larkin, good piece of shepherding by Jonas, allowed Larkin plenty of time. The luxury of a couple of bounces. Now he gives the long hand pass. Crocker under pressure. Over the line it goes. And so it's easy after the ball, but when you see the result, you wonder why when you clear a long kick towards Ross Glendenning might not have been the go. McDonald got the tap. Jonas, Gaffer. Long hand pass by Michael Gaffer. Banks attempted to tap it on, and John Law comes through. That's exactly what I was talking about, Sandy. Straight down the ground, but excellent play by Handley. He gives the hand pass across to Turner from the 50-metre line in defence. Turner goes up towards centre wing. Dacos first on the scene. Grab when not in possession. And much to the delight of the Collingwood fans, this time Dacos gets the free kick. He's got Banks loose. A well-placed kick finds Dennis Banks. He's got Tony Shaw leading, but it's over the line just before it can be tapped back. It didn't matter anyway because it was David Ackley waiting for it. And so there's Tony Shaw. 50 metres from goal. The throw in. Hickey over the top. Thumps it back over the boundary line. And another throw in, this time about 70 metres out from goal as Darren Mullane comes back to await the outcome. Cloak against Fairley. Cloak gets it down to Dacos. Dacos is kicked. Ball play on by the umpire. Morwood tried to get it back to Banks, but a good tackle that time by Hickey forces it over the boundary line. Kick touched off the boot. It's a third throw in the same vicinity. Cloak gets it over the back. Dacos straightens up, goes towards goal. Well, just offline, and a 1 point kick by Peter Dacos.
1 goal, 1 is his tally. Out of Collingwood's 10-9. Leading North 4-7. McCann putting the ball back into play. Not sure where to go. He's got players running everywhere. Alex eventually goes short and almost caught Peter German on the hop. A good opening to the game, but has been a little quiet since. Towards centre wing. At the back, Tony Shaw.
doing a Maradona. Not successfully clear. Passmore keeps it in play, but puts his teammate under tremendous pressure. Picked up by Keris in a hurry. Kick back towards half forward. Game performance by McKeon. Could have almost been free kick for being held. And eventually Ian Robinson comes in. Really the crowd not overly impressed by the umpire.
I don't think they are, Sandy.
Here's the bounce. Still on that outer wing. Thumped clear by Cloak. Taken by Atkins. Over the top. It goes from Passmore to Law. Across the centre. Phillips got one. Straight up again, however. Jonas couldn't take it cleanly the first time. Does the second. Goes with the left foot. Looking for Glendinning and finds
In the back, Sandy.
Yes, he gave him a nudge, said the umpire. And it's not Roscoe's day at the moment. So it's Yao. Cloak coming in strongly. Bang, straight down on the Cochin line. Tony Shaw. Banks. Dropped what he should have taken. Law. Now Bradbury's up against two of them. He needs support. Well done, Bradbury. Across to Dacos. Ridden into the ground. And he'll take the free kick. Dacos, long floating drop punt. Williams in the pocket. Hasn't goaled to date yet, Mark, but an excellent chance of doing so now. Physical education teacher. Fires with a drop punt. Up goes the black and white flags to signal to their skipper, all clear. Mark Williams kicks his first and Collingwood's first for the term. They move to 11-9. Leading North 4-7 on sevens. Big lead.
So North Melbourne started off with that one quick goal, Sandy. But they really had to go on with it from there. And it's been Collingwood that steadied again and are continually in attack. Lee Matthews, Wayne Richardson in the background. Fellows gets a tap. Tony Shaw. The hand pass wide. Finds Mullane. Mullane now will go short. Banks is there. Knocked away by John Law. Good defensive work. Law under pressure. Gets it to McCann. He slips. Over the top to Holt. On to Ackley. North Melbourne getting it out of the danger zone. As Ackley goes long. Crocker's there. Tapped away by Phillips. No, a free kick has been found. And Crocker takes it. The hand pass. On to Arsieri. Desperate effort by Phillips to put him off. But it doesn't matter because it's Gayfer who takes it down there in defence. Gayfer gives it on to Morwood. Morwood likewise to Tony Shaw. Shaw hooks it back to Phillips and he takes a nice mark. Greg Phillips back to Tony Shaw. And the hard-working Tony Shaw swings it in towards the centre. Almost a good mark there to Banks, but it's picked up by Fairley. Straight down the ground, punched away by Fellows. Out towards Larkin. Larkin's got Glendinning short, so goes with the hand pass. Glendinning the chance of a score as he straightens up and goes goalward, but he's offline. Earned a 1 point only. The result kicked by Ross Glendinning.
His first score for the day, North of 4-8. Trailing Collingwood 11-9. And at the moment unable to make any impression on this big lead. Abernethy, who's been doing the bulk of the kicking out for the day, once again has that duty. His former Port Adelaide teammate Greg Phillips gives him the lead. Greg picks it up nicely on the half volley. Goes into the spaces there in the middle looking for Cloak. Larkins. Hickey. Well, does it well. Gives it across to Holt. A perfect left foot kick, this boy. Long in towards full forward, but this time off target. And 1 point over.
But that might have been a goal.
Yep.
A lovely blind turn by Stephen Hickey. And that's Abernethy once again.
Back to a 42-point margin, Bob.
As it was at half-time. And so, number 42 now, Darren Mullane. Mullane favours the drop punt. Hickey, a nice mark for North Melbourne. Good strong mark. So Stephen Hickey on centre wing, outer side of the ground. Back towards the half-forward line. Schimmelbusch at the back. Turner was up. couldn't quite hold the mark, but good defensive work, saw it run over the boundary line, and the throw-in to take place 60 metres out from goal, half-forward flank for North Melbourne. Fellows and McDonald. Fellows got the tap down, Turner coming through, can't get boot to ball, but did make the attempt. McDonald looking for a free kick, and we'll find a bounce. Not a free kick, a bounce right on the 50-metre line, half-forward there for North Melbourne. 11-9 to 4-9, 7 goals in favour of the Woods. Fellows, it's a tap, not a clear one. Jimmy Cracker taps it on. Greg Phillips thumps the ball, and it's over the boundary line once again. Well, it will be Fellows of Collingwood, McDonald of North Melbourne, who will compete in the ruck. McDonald up high, but Fellows got the tap right down, right at his feet virtually, and a pack forms, so we'll find another bounce to take place, this time 60 metres out from goal.
Approaching the 15-minute mark of this third term. North desperately wanting quick goals. Donald up high, straight to Moore, gets a hurried kick. At the back was Jimmy Cracker, down towards Glendinning, fisted away by Xiao. Gaffer shepherded out. This gives German the chance. Swings in towards goal, great looking kick. He's goal. Tremendous kick by Peter German for his first, and a much needed one by the Northerners.
This certainly was a great goal, that one by Peter German, and looked as though he might snap from the boundary line on the right foot, but chose to swing around, and a beautiful left foot snap. Sandy? Now, whether he's a butcher or not.
So we're back in the middle. We've got a 6-goal difference between these two sides. Can North make it up? Fellows with this mighty run. In fact, it was a poor bounce for him on that occasion. Straight to McDonald. Cracker could come out the back door, but no, well smothered. Williams at the bottom of the pack, as usual. So too Jamie Turner. And another bounce. Still just about smack bang in the middle. Again, it's McDonald. Straight to Avenue. Gives it across to Hanley. Now, Collingwood normally have been able to answer the challenge very quickly. Ackley loses it, but will regain it. Poor hand pass. Mullane came over the top of Larkin. In towards full forward, over the head of Dacos. Out comes McCann. With him also is Fairley, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. So here is a chance for Dacos to offer that quick reply.
Now, if anyone can kick it from there, it could be Peter Dacos. Right on the boundary line. 40 metres out from goal.
Using a check side. Oh, what a goal! What a kick! Touch for a point. Oh, gee, I thought he'd done that.
Jack Odie would have been proud of that one, Sandy.
He would have. Well, 1 point only. Thought he'd done it. McCann to the outer side. Hickey.
Gone behind play, Sandy.
Yes, it is too.
There it is.
Pretty chilly out there.
Back with play. And it's up towards the North Melbourne half-forward line. Kicked off the ground by McDonald. Glendinning. Held, but taps it on. Gaffer gets it. Doing well for Collingwood. Slips or trip, whatever you like. Tony Shaw takes it. Shaw puts it back. Hanley there for Collingwood. 60 metres out from goal. Things have settled down at the other end of the ground.
Yes, they're all disentangled.
15-metre penalty. And so Hanley now puts it towards centre wing. Cloak in the middle. It's tapped away. Moorwood comes through. Hand passes to McEwen. McEwen goes long, right down towards the forward pocket. No mark. Dacos snaps towards goal. 1 point only the result.
Oh, gee, he's giving them some excitement down in that forward line, the Collingwood supporters.
It looks good when he goes towards it, doesn't he?
It's 11-11 to 5-9.
Something about the Dacos types.
Yep. Ackley to the outer side of the ground once again. Cloak up high, at the back fairly. Short in towards the middle. Crocker in front of Phillips. Glendinning gives him a lead. Out to half forward. He comes over the top of Xiao. Waiting down in front was Jonas. Under plenty of pressure. So too Glendinning as Xiao goes in, puts his body between Glendinning and the football, which is the right place to have it. And another bounce. North's attacking zone. They want another couple of quick ones to make a game of it in the final quarter. Short of Williams. Collingwood out of trouble to Moore.
Shane Moore now will go back to Mark Williams. It's a little bit high for Williams, and he might get a favourable bounce. Showed courage to go after it, and it was taken away, and Larkin picks it up for North Melbourne. Hand passes to Arsery. He thought about giving it back, then he went for the kick. It was smothered. Jimmy Cracker kicks it off the ground. It goes straight across, in fact back about 10 metres. An awkward bounce for Atkins, allows Mullane to come through. Hand passes on to Bradbury. Bradbury now from 45 metres out. He's hooked it though, and it's through for 1 point. Bad luck there for Atkins. He really got a bad bounce. 2 points to Peter Bradbury. McCann goes short. The lead from Donald McDonald. Plays on immediately from centre half back. Off the side of the boot, so it goes straight down the ground. Jonas gets the ball down towards German. German hooks it down. Larkin gets a favourable bounce. Straightens up and goes goalward. Matthew Larkin offline though, and 1 point the result. So bad luck for North Melbourne. A chance there by Matthew Larkin. And there's Larkin with Tony Shaw. Now Abernathy will put the ball back in.
Almost 20 minutes played in this third term. Here's Bruce Abernathy going to the outer side of the ground. Greg Phillips over the top. A big punch away over the line. So a throw in. It's on the 50-metre line for North. Fellows. Handball loose. Crocker held. Still gets it out to Arsery. Play on the advantage now. Caught them unawares, and Jimmy Cracker takes the kick. Fellows dropped what he should have taken. Jonas and Abernathy both go to ground, and the two South Australians will have to get up and witness it.
That to me should have come back though, Sandy.
To North.
The advantage rule wasn't an advantage. It was the greatest disadvantage of all time.
So a bounce. 40 metres out from North scoring zone. McDonald and Fellows. Jonas. Bounce. Sal almost trapped it. Picked up by Gayfer. He's running into trouble. Gets the handball away. Handley back to Gayfer. Over the top. Williams. Another one to Tony Shaw. Can he get away from Jonas? Yes, he can. Turner. Abernathy. They've run it down almost to centre wing. Abber's kick towards half forward, but Fairley is there, and he takes the mark in the fence. Short in towards the centre. Larkin's on his own. Now he's got Passmore out wider. Uses him. He can run on, floating a punt down towards Glendinning. We've got a shocking bounce again. Siao followed him up. That's a poor kick and taken by Donald McDonald.
So McDonald, right from the point of the centre square. I would imagine too far out to score. Signalling that he will go long. It's Donald McDonald. Somebody's going to favour the torpedo punt kick. Come off. Glendinning couldn't quite take it. Handley taking the ball away well. Too high for Mullane. Law coming through for North Melbourne. Can't quite handle it. Atkins is there. Kicked off the ground by Mullane. Over the line it goes before Arsery or Mullane can pick it up. So a throw-in to take place. Half-forward flank for North Melbourne is Darren Mullane. Comes back to await the outcome.
Fellows leaving the ground as we watch Jimmy Cracker go in towards half forward. Glendinning. Play on, said the umpire. Over the back, Greg Phillips. Fellows off, Beers on. Morwood in pursuit. And under plenty of pressure over the line.
Cloak into the ruck, Sandy. These Fellows coming around the boundary. Will be saving him for the last quarter.
He's had a big day so far.
Phillips it was. Possibly got tripped, but gets a nice hand pass out to Tony Shaw. Having a picnic in this term. Passmore it is though, who takes it in front of Ron McHugh. Passmore, hand passes to Ackley, gains nothing at all. Ackley hooks it, McDonald drops it. Punched away there by Cloak, picked up by Morwood. Morwood goes short and finds McHugh. Hand pass back to Williams. Williams over the top with another hand pass to Beers, who's just come on the ground. Beers puts it down, looking for Taylor. It's punched away by McCann. Comes back to Taylor. Couldn't handle the ball cleanly though, and Ackley picks it up for North Melbourne. A long hand pass finds Larkin. The blind turns out of trouble, then gives it out to Passmore. On now to Fairley from the half-back flank. Ian Fairley goes long over the centre wing. Crocker was up high, couldn't take it. Turner grabs it, couldn't get boot to ball. The pack forms, and umpire Russo indicates that he'll come in and bounce it centre wing out of sight of the ground, with North Melbourne 40 points, trailing Collingwood by 38 points, 23 minutes into the third term. McDonald up high, taps it. Crocker couldn't get it clear. Morwood taken by Crocker, but the umpire decided that they'd had long enough, and he'll come in to bounce the ball midway between centre wing and half-forward flank for North Melbourne.
Here's the bounce. Cloak in the thick of things, can't get it clear. Push towards the line. Jonas does a little bit of hurdling, and a free kick has been plucked out, going the way of Matthew Larkin on the right half-forward flank. 15 metres, brings Williams back. He's going short, doesn't even worry about that. Donald McDonald had given him the lead, pushes it into the pocket. Williams has the chance to backpedal, pick it up, and get his side out of strife. Back towards the centre, another poor kick straight to Stephen Hickey. Ackley to full forward, waiting down. Gafer tackled by Glendenning. Roscoe. Well, every picture tells a story. It was Abernethy at the bottom. Cloak beaten on that occasion, but it finishes it up with the big man. Out in front of Morwood. It's only got to sit and he's in business. It does. Banks runs with him as he goes in towards the forward line. Beers. Taylor. Did he cop one? The umpire said no. That kick back towards centre wing. Pushed down in front. Waiting there is Morwood. Can't take it. Larkin can. North out of trouble, but a poor pass over the head of German. German v Cloak. Cloak the victor. Tony Shaw. Here they go again. Mark Williams. Morwood's loose. He elects to go over the top of him, up towards half forward, and Dennis Banks takes it. Now he'll no doubt look out towards Taylor and McCann. No, he's going shorter. Jamie Turner has drifted down between centre and half forward, and he will look towards BT. Just lurking at the back. Now gives him a lead. Here he goes. And he's got him. He's got a strong pair of hands, hasn't he?
Certainly has, Sandy. 5 goals to Taylor's credit. Hasn't kicked a goal in this quarter. 2 in the first term. 3 in the second.
Kicked a couple of behinds, hasn't he, this term?
He has. One Sandy. Kicked one in the second term. It's 11-12 to 5-10. Will Brian Taylor bring up goal number 6? Nice looking kick from Taylor. The goal umpire hardly moves. A lovely goal to Brian Taylor. Goal number 6. 6 goals to Taylor. 12-12 Collingwood. North Melbourne 5-10. So it's 84-40. 44 points to lead. 2 points more than it was at the half-time break.
Brian Taylor going right down to the middle to say well done and thank you to Jamie Turner, and then he heads back to that forward line, which he has controlled. 6 goals to his credit. Fine performance. 84 plays 40. Well, they just increased that half-time lead by only 2 points. The important thing for Collingwood is they're maintaining it as Abernethy receives from Morwood. Down towards the half-forward line. Ackley in front of Dacos takes the mark. Plays on. Gets his kick wide. Mark Arsieri picks it up. He's got German there if he needs him. Uses him now. Back in towards that half-forward line. They're starting to muck around with it. And we'll lose it. Maybe. Holt. Tony Shaw asked the question. But sadly for him, it falls on deaf ears. So a bounce into North's attacking zone. We're into time on, and there won't be a great deal of it this quarter. Hickey's hurried kick. There is the siren. And Collingwood retaining their good lead. At three-quarter time, the Magpies are 12-12, 84, leading North 5-10, 40 on Seven's big lead. Collingwood going to the final term here at Victoria Park with a 44-point lead. Can they retain it and get back on the winners list? It's still cloak in the ruck after Fellows was removed from the ground after a fine performance in that third quarter where it seemed to become a little bit messy. Nevertheless, they're underway. There's another change because coming on for his first kick is Darren Collins, only to see Fairley take it at half back. So both interchange boys for Collingwood on now, Beers and Collins. Cloak, the spoiler from behind. Passmore waiting down across to Atkins. North out of trouble. Down towards their attacking zone. Goals are the order of the day and goals quickly. Crocker under pressure. Jonas tries to tap it clear. Going down with him is Greg Phillips. Also Ross Glendenning. And a bounce to take place.
Some of these youngsters, Sandy, who I personally haven't seen before, Handley, Seow, they've done quite well.
Yes, had a good day so far out here at Victoria Park. Flicked out the back towards Mark Williams, across to Shane Morwood, through handball to Tony Shaw, out towards Mullane on centre wing. Couldn't take the mark, and in fact will lose it to Atkins. Well done. Crocker from behind. Can't complete the mark. German caught. Flying over the top. Like Ross Glendenning, and Danny Seow, one of the players Bob Skilton was just talking about, takes the free kick. Well, they've got players everywhere there. Jamie Turner. We could just about have a chat to see who's going to take it. Gayfer and Phillips do. Eventually it's Gayfer, gives it across to Hanley. There's another of the youngsters. Oh, McKeon tried to tap it on to Collins. He can give it to BT. Here's number 7. Steady drive, shoot and goal. Exactly what he does. He's having a big day as BT. So too is Collingwood. 13-12 to 5-10 on Seven's big league. A margin of a whopping 50 points.
Well, the way Collingwood should look at this game, Sandy, because North Melbourne are not playing well at all. They're a demoralised side at the moment, and so Collingwood really should be aiming very strongly at percentage. Before today, they were down on percentage, but a big win would make a hell of a difference. Centre bounce. Cloak gets the tap. Hickey tried to pick it up but couldn't get the ball clear and gives it back now to umpire Robinson. And so from the bounce. 5 metres on the Collingwood side. With the centre, McDonald gets the tap. Williams gets the short kick forward. Collins taps the ball away from Ackley. Law comes in for North Melbourne. Puts it up towards the wing. Gayfer leads in the race for the ball. It's an awkward bounce, but he keeps it out in front of him, then loses it. German picks it up. Tackle. Gayfer comes in again. Kicked off the ground by Jonas. It almost runs past Turner. Turner comes back. It's kicked off the ground this time by Schimmelbusch. The hand pass over the top to Jonas. He'll give it on to German. German a chance at a goal. Goes over the top into the square to Crocker. Crocker turns around and brings up his third goal.
So North offering a quick reply, but it's still a long, long way to go. 46 plays 90, 13-12 to 6-10. And Peter German ambling back to the middle after seeing his side post their 6th goal.
90 to 46. As it was at three-quarter time, 44 points the margin. There is the board. Cloak coming in from the side. McDonald coming straight down the ground. McDonald gets the tap. Schimmelbusch was held. And Wayne Schimmelbusch will get the free kick. Centre of the ground. Puts it wide. Larkin waits for it and takes the mark. Glendenning doing well to keep the players away from Larkin. So, last year's best and fairest winner for North Melbourne. Out with injury for most of the early part. A well-placed kick. A nice mark to Darren Crocker, who has kicked 3 goals so far. 1 in this term. And Crocker now from directly in front. 35 metres out. So distance should not be a trouble. Danny Seow on the mark. So Darren Crocker. Kick from Crocker. He's hooked it and it's hit the post. So 3 goals, 1 to Darren Crocker. Will not be happy with himself with that one. 13-12 to 6-11.
And it will be Greg Phillips bringing the ball back into play. Williams coming over the top. Abernethy, a hurried kick but close to the boundary line and in fact over. So a throw in outer side of the ground here at Victoria Park at centre wing. Cloak and McDonald both lean on each other, taken by Hickey. Gets clear, then goes onto the left foot down towards Cracker, who's been very subdued today. A long penetrating kick. Crocker comes out and takes a good mark in front of Seattle. Well, he can go into towards the pocket if he wants to. Glendinning is there, but I don't think he's got there in time. He hasn't, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Things won't run for Ross Glendinning, Sandy.
No, he's having a wretched day.
From the moment I talked about Collingwood's percentage, North have lifted their game.
You can put the Moz.
Jamie Turner will bring the ball back into play right alongside the North Melbourne players race. Nice kick from Turner. Cloak taps it on. Williams having trouble, throws it out. John Holt, I think it was underneath that packet, was. And umpire Ian Robinson will indicate that he'll bounce the ball way between centre wing and half forward flank for North Melbourne. Cloak used his body and he's penalised accordingly, so Donald McDonald will put the ball forward for North Melbourne. McDonald puts it long, looking for Ross Glendinning. Glendinning tried to tap it over the back. Spargo in there underneath, and Kerrison coming in. Very tight player, Shane Kerrison. Another good player for the side. Big pack of players around it. Cloak uses his body again. This time takes it, gets the hand pass. It's tapped on by Tony Shaw. Greg Phillips traps it well. Goes for the short pass. Collins just couldn't quite get to it. Tapped on by Ackley. Collins slipped as he was coming back. Kicked off that round by Bradbury. Goes after it again. Just keeps it in play. And a nice pass by Mark Beers.
Beers in towards half forward. Cracker, this time in front of Hanley.
Very good mark with inches, Sandy. 15 metres.
Sees him in the middle. He goes short. He's spearing one to Schimmelbusch. 15. Schimmer doesn't worry about it. Plays on.
Foolish play.
Silly play. So it will be a free kick down the ground. Now who'll take it? Peter German?
Umpire Robinson not knowing what's going on. But it is a free kick downfield, there's no doubt about that.
Ross Glendinning's grabbed it pretty smartly. And so this could be a gimme goal. Cloak off. Fellows back on. Collingwood. Here's Ross Glendinning. Hasn't goaled to date, but has now. So North Post their 7th. They move along to 7-11, trailing Collingwood to 13-12 on 7's big lead.
Well, foolish play that. Collingwood have to look at percentage, because before today their percentage was not 100, and so a club like Essendon, it's almost got a game in percentage, as Lee Matthews doesn't look too pleased about the situation there, even though I'm sure he's pleased with the scoreboard 90 to 53, he would still be concerned about giving away goals.
37 points the margin. Almost 9.5 minutes played, final term. Abernethy first forced to do the ruck work, taken by Bradbury, down towards half forward. Williams, a good mark. Too far out to score, straight back to Abernethy. Now Taylor's kicked 7. Does he want him? He hooks it back cleverly for Tony Shaw, who thought about running into the open goal. Michael pass mistake. Shaw has not goaled to date. He's only 5 metres out.
Behind play, Sandy.
All on behind play. Tony Shaw, in the meantime, has goaled. There's a couple of sore heads up the other end, I think. Shane Kerrison's not too sure what day it is, and I reckon he's copped a beauty.
I think he must have, Sandy.
He has.
I think the pencil's out, Sandy.
It is. It is. Jimmy. It's been reported.
Kerrison coming off the ground. The goal umpire racing after him.
He's doing a Carl Lewis. Look at him.
I don't think Kerrison knows what's going on, Sandy.
No.
He's done a good job.
So, now let's get back to the football. There was a goal to Tony Shaw. It was his first. And things are warming up a little bit out there. Now, just be careful, boys. Let's get back to business. Runners going everywhere. Umpires trying to regain some control. And I think we might be back in business. It certainly warmed the fans up on this pretty chilly day here at Victoria Park.
It's always hard to comment when you don't see it, Sandy,
Yep.
but you can imagine, but you can't actually surmise.
I think you've summed that up very well, Robert. Right.
And now the flags are being signalled for a goal. I think we all forgot about that goal, Sandy.
No, we did call it, but the goal umpires just said. So up we go with the scores. 14-12 to 7-11. Let's get back to business.
Pretty pacey goal umpire too, I must say.
From the centre bounce. Hanley to the half-forward line. Collins the target. Couldn't take it. Almost had it socket out of his hands. He does have good support, however. Kept in... No, it was not kept in play. Oh! It had gone out of bounds, and I just wonder what the umpires are doing here. Here we go down here with Fairley and BT. Now, I'd imagine Brian saying, now look, I have 7 to date, and I'm fairly keen on getting into double figures if we don't win.
Well, the chance of the final, Brian. Settle down.
Goal umpire coming out. Jeff and BT pointing back to him, saying, look, you were 20 minutes late with the last goal. All right, on the 50-metre line. Comedy capers here at the moment, but if they're not careful, good a run. McEwen with a big thump, but straight to Arceri. Goes over the shoulder, back towards the middle. No mark taken. Morwood couldn't go through. Passmore neither. A chance now for Collingwood. Hanley on the end of the handball. Chips in towards Taylor and McCann. Taylor with the one hand. Can't complete the mark. The bouncing ball eludes him. McCann out in front. Pushes it clear. Larkin back to McCann. And he goes for the handball towards the boundary line. Abernethy too much pace for him. Abbers will recover. Scoots it over the back. Only to see it just go over the line. And so another throw in to take place. We played 13 minutes. Cloak, German, Law, Morwood. Good grab. Centre wing. He's had a big day. It's a very congested forward line. Cloak. The flyer. Does well to recover to Dacos. Here he goes. He eludes one. Gives it out to Mark Beers. Hooks it in towards Taylor. McCann slipped at the critical stage. Taylor has 7. Point blank range and directly in front. .49 before he began today. Currently on 56. He can now make that 57. 8 goals for the day for Brian Taylor. And Collingwood steady. 15-12 as they pass the ton. North 7-11. 53 on 7. Big lead.
There's Brian Taylor, who had run up the ground to show his appreciation to teammates. There are delighted Collingwood fans. So it's back at the centre bounce. And Collingwood 102. North Melbourne 53. So 49 points to the margin. And Collingwood have gained now 5 points in this term. And I think things have settled down again. Sandy?
Centre bounce. 15-minute mark. Final term. It's a bounce that favours McDonald. Again, Abernethy's forced to do the work. Cracker couldn't take it clearly. No one can from North, so Jimmy says, I'll soccer it off the ground. He does so. Mullane, Tony Shaw, Peter German, Graham Atkins, all giving chase. Picked up nicely by Mullane. He'll swing round onto the left foot. Oh, Wes Fellows is back in the middle. He takes the mark.
15-metre penalty. Glendenning tapped the ball out of his hands. Doesn't wait for it. Hand passes across to Phillips. Phillips comes into the centre. Dacos takes the mark. So from the centre of the ground, Peter Dacos. Licks to go long. It's a glorious kick from Peter Dacos. Taylor up high, couldn't take it. Passmore missed it. Clout coming through, picks it up. A long hand pass from Clout. Collins is there. Well tackled. And
too high.
Tackled too high. And so Darren Collins will take the free kick and attempt to kick his first goal. Disappointed Peter Jonas, but Collins from directly in front, 35 metres out from goal. Collins attempting to kick goal number 16 for Collingwood. On McEwen, the foreground, there's Darren Collins. The goal umpire hardly moves at all, and Collins puts it through for his first goal. And Collingwood go to 16 goals, 12, 108, a 55-point lead over North Melbourne, 7-11-53.
And perhaps they heard your comments about working on percentage, Bobby, because a couple of steadying goals and the Collingwood hierarchy not at the moment looking overly concerned. It's been a pretty good performance. 16-12 to 7-11. 16 and a half minutes played. The Maggies go marching on. McDonald gets too far underneath the football. Williams gets edged out of it, and we'll see another bounce virtually right in the middle. Taylor, the main scorer on the ground, with 8 goals. From the bounce, won by Fellows, taken by Jimmy Cracker. Does well to get his kick down towards half forward. Gayfer gets a shocking bounce. Glendenning a good one across to German. This looks promising. Has Abernethy given away a free kick? No, the umpire calls play on. Bradbury through now. Needs support as he bottles it up down there at the bottom of the pack. And we'll see yet another bounce. There's the small scoreboard, 16-12, 7-11.
I thought it should have been a free kick to Wayne Schimmelbusch, Sandy, but in typical Schimmelbusch fashion, he never gets up and remonstrates. He just, oh, well, if I didn't get it, I didn't get it. Great example.
It certainly is. As Fellows out to Dacos. Ducked his head. Ball propped slightly in the middle. Thought for a moment Passmore was going to collide with Larkin, but it's the latter who comes away. Puts it out wide. And the mark taken by the classic left-footed Johnny Hopp. Look at that penetrating kick in towards full forward. But this man has done a great job today. 13 marks to Wes Fellows. He was off the ground. Well, it's a free kick going to Danny Seow, but he was off the ground for a short while in the third quarter. Bradbury from behind. No mark. Gayfer. Out wide Dacos. He's got Abbas running with him. Uses him. With a left foot to the half-forward line. Cloak doing the muscle work. Fairly shows strength too. And it finishes up with him from Law. Short over the head of Arceri. He's still got the support, however, as it's taken by Donald McDonald.
McDonald goes on with a short pass out wide. German just runs over the 50-metre line. Puts it long towards the goal square. Up high this time. And taking an excellent mark is Fellows. So I don't think it'll be taken off him this time, Sandy. So Wes Fellows calling for his teammates to go wide. Puts it long and wide. Tapped over the back. Tapped on again by Mullane, but a little bit too far for Tony Shaw. Runs over the boundary line before Tony Shaw can pick it up, and a throw-in to take place midway between centre wing and half-forward flank for North Melbourne.
Approaching the 20-minute mark of this final term, Collingwood have got this one this week in the bag. No question of that, as Fellows wins it again. Dacos weaves his spell towards the boundary line, and it's Darren Mullane who sees it go over there. There's a Collingwood player down, but in fact it's Peter Dacos who's had a bit of a rough old day today. Been in for some heavy work. Arceri receives the hand pass, goes with a high left foot kick. No mark taken. North the first to recover. Larkin's hand pass comes over the top. Now here's an opportunity for Spargo as he steadies, goes in towards full forward. Xiao sees it drift over the line for him. Another behind on the board for the Northerners. They move just that one behind closer, but it's still a big margin as Abernethy brings it back into play to Danny Xiao.
So Gaper didn't take the mark, but the free kick forthcoming. So Michael Gaper goes for the long kick, looking for Cloak. It's Cloak and Fairley. Fairley gets the ball down. Dacos came through but couldn't quite get it out. Fairley still trying to trap it. Hickey comes in. Beers on the bottom of the pack, and the bounce will take place midway between centre wing and centre half forward. From the bounce, Cloak grabs it. So hand pass in the air. Bradbury went to tap the ball on. Tapped out to Morwood. Paul Clown with the advantage ruled. Taylor right under the chest. That kick from Morwood. And so Brian Taylor, 8 goals to his credit. Possibly could have gone on to McEwen, but he should go back and have the shot. 8 goals too. In excellent form, Brian Taylor, as have been Collingwood. So Taylor, 40 metres out. Right through the centre. 9 goals to Brian Taylor. Collingwood go to 17-12, 114. North Melbourne 7-12, 54. 60 points to margin. 10 goals in favour of the Woods. As once again Brian Taylor, a delighted Brian Taylor, says thank you Shane Morwood, and ran right up to the wing to say thank you. No. Another change being made. Fairly this time to go across onto Brian Taylor. Hickey puts it wide. Crocker coming after it. It runs over the line before Crocker could gain possession. And so Glendenning, Law, McCann, and now Fairley have all been opponents of Brian Taylor, who has 9 goals too. Great performance by the forward as German puts the ball forward. Crocker came over the top, couldn't take it. Over the boundary line it goes. And so a throw-in to take place right in front of the North Melbourne players' race. On the throw-in, Phillips up high. German has a snap towards goal. 1 point the result, kicked by Peter German. 1 goal 1 to Peter German out of 7 goals 13. 55 to 114 in favour of Collingwood. 23 minutes have gone in the final term. Bruce Abernethy swings it wide, looking for Mullane, and he takes a nice mark. So Darren Mullane towards centre wing. Cloak coming across, taps it over. It runs past German. Jimmy Cracker comes in. A high kick off the side of the boot. Schimmelbusch came in, couldn't take the mark, caught one too high. Gave it right over the top of Schimmelbusch, but the umpire comes in, John Russo, to indicate that he will bounce the ball. They hurt in this nippy weather. Wayne Schimmelbusch looks like he's caught one. As Gayfer taps it out to Hanley. Hanley's short kick taken by Jim Cracker. Cracker taking the mark right on the 50-metre line. Jimmy Cracker, not the idol of the Collingwood fans. Goes for the short pass. Abernethy intercepts, punts it away, comes to Jonas, hooks it too far, and a 1 point goes on the board to Peter Jonas. So he too has 1 goal 1, and it's 7 goals 14, 56 to 17, 12, 114. Greg Phillips this time elects to go to the outer side of the ground. Goes long. Once again, Mullane takes it. So the last 2 kickouts on opposite sides of the ground. 2 good marks to Darren Mullane. Collins couldn't take it. Atkins picks it up. puts it back towards half forward. Jonas comes across, couldn't take the mark. Gafer has been a fine player down there. The hand pass to Phillips, back onto Handley, another good player. So too was Phillips. Handley's long kick. Morwood takes the lovely mark. Morwood's first quarter was absolutely fantastic, and he hasn't played quite as well since, but has still been a very good player. Brian Taylor after it again, tackle, gets rid of it, after it again, dives after it, over the boundary line it goes, and the throw-in to take place. Forward pocket for Collingwood. Approaching time on as Brian Taylor comes back towards the goal square. The throw-in will see McCann against Cloak. McCann gets the tap down. Jim Cracker floats the ball towards the boundary line. Tapped over the line by Tony Shaw, and this time the throw-in will be on half forward for Collingwood. As Tony Shaw awaits the outcome. Over the top came Abernathy, the big thump. Once again, the throw-in this time midway between half forward flank and forward pocket. 114 to 56 in favour of Collingwood. As Cloak got rid of McCann, then punches the ball down. Collins a chance of a score. Well smothered by Ackley. Ackley kicks the ball off the ground. Goes after it again. In pursuit of Bradbury. Bradbury first on the scene. Hooks it back. Will he keep it in play? No, he will not. Over the boundary line it goes. And the free kick will go the way of North Melbourne's Jim Cracker. Play between Mark Williams and Jim Cracker. It's Jimmy Cracker now from the back pocket. Won't quite reach the centre wing, and Donald McDonald takes the mark. Plays on. Wayne Schimmelbusch with it. So Schimmelbusch towards half forward. Glendenning in front. Punched away by Phillips. Glendenning tried to keep it in play. It came off the boot of Abernathy, but it was over the line beforehand. So a throw-in will take place. Half forward flank for North Melbourne. Fellows gets the tap. Gafer leaves it for Dacos. Dacos dummies beautifully. A long kick towards centre wing. McCann punches the ball away from Cloak. Over the boundary line it goes, and a throw-in will take place on centre wing, members' side of the ground. Gafer and Schimmelbusch watching on. McCann gets the tap. Larkin gets it out to German. German hooks it across towards half forward. Gafer punches the ball away. Cracker picks the ball up for North Melbourne. Hooks it down towards Glendenning. In the front position, Glendenning has it punched away. Fellows takes it. Floats the kick back towards centre wing. Larkins comes across to take the chest mark. So Matthew Larkin thought about the hand pass to Ackley. Now goes short looking for Ackley, and he takes the mark. Ackley 55 metres out from goal. And off the ground in the second term after copping a very heavy knock, but it doesn't look as though he's suffered any ill effects since coming back. Darren Crocker up high, a nice mark. Crocker only 20 metres out from goal. Has kicked 4, but a belated goal it will be, because at the moment it's 56 to 114 in favour of Collingwood. Crocker going for his 4th goal. He hit the post early in this term, but that was from about 35 metres out. This one's only 15 metres out. And Darren Crocker has put it through for his 4th goal, and North Melbourne go to 8 goals, 14-62, with Collingwood on 17-12, 114. You're watching Sevens Big League as Darren Crocker rinses the mouth. On the board, 114-62. The centre bounce. 114-62. Fellows against McDonald. Fellows wins a tap. Gets it out to Tony Shaw. Hand pass accepted by Mullane out wide. Mullane went to go short. Taylor first to it. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Now he gets the hand pass back to Handley. Handley puts the ball down towards the square. Cloak from behind. Can't take the mark. Bradbury first on the scene. Holt takes the ball away from Bradbury, does well, and from the back pocket, John Holt puts it up towards Wayne Schimmelbusch, who takes a nice mark. Schimmelbusch, the hand pass over the top towards Larkin, intercepted by Dacos. Dacos puts it forward. Abernathy's kick down towards Cloak in the front position, punched away by McCann. Holt caught one too high, then copped a push in the back. Dacos is in there, and the bounce will take place 50 metres almost out from the Collingwood goal. There's a couple of tired players, Michael Passmore, Peter Dacos get up, and Dacos gives the ball back to umpire Russell. McCann and Cloak. McCann got the ball down, Hickey takes it, gives it to Arceri. Arceri towards centre wing, and another good mark to Wes Fellows. 14 marks to Wes Fellows, though he has dictated the aerial turns. McDonald being told it's a 15-metre penalty, and so Wes Fellows goes for the long kick. Brian Taylor, McCann in the front, almost took the mark. Taken by Hickey, across to Larkin. Larkin likewise to Schimmelbusch, over the top to Jonas. Jonas on to McDonald. North Melbourne going forward from the boot of Donald McDonald. Spargo up high. Jimmy Cracker in hot pursuit. Williams. The hand pass comes from Cracker to Glendenning. Glendenning grabbed by the foot but got the hand pass into Spargo. A goal coming up as Spargo straightens up, puts it through the centre. The goal number 9 to North Melbourne, and goal number 1 to Spargo. 9-14, 68 points North Melbourne. Collingwood 17, 12, 114. 46 points the margin in favour of North Melbourne. 44 points it was at three-quarter time. 42 points at half-time. So Collingwood haven't really grabbed the opportunity of taking much in the way of percentage as Fellows gets it to Tony Shaw. Shaw now, the hand pass to Dacos. Dacos swings wide, a beautiful pass finds Abernathy, who goes on, the lead finds Taylor, and can Brian Taylor make it goal number 10? 9 goals to Brian Taylor, 3 of them in this term. He's only 30 metres out from goal. He's kicking from about 35 metres. You can see the angle for yourself. As the siren sounds, but Brian Taylor will take the kick. The kick from Taylor is offline. Through for 1 point. Taylor finishes with 9 goals. Collingwood with 17-13. 115 to North Melbourne, 9-14, 68.
Footballer, you've got to go for the mark, the VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges.
Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
After quarter time, it was a great performance by Collingwood as the scoreline tells the story. Collingwood 17-13, 115. North a very disappointing 9-14, 68. And what a performance by Brian Taylor. 9 goals today takes him at the moment to the top of the goal-kicking ladder. Dennis Banks scored 2 for Collingwood, while Crocker was North Melbourne's main scorer with 4 goals. And so the Collingwood army is on the march and, quite rightly so now, starting to think about September, because at the moment the Pies are out of the 5 on percentage only. They are in 6th spot behind Essendon. North Melbourne, on the other hand, have the job ahead of them. After today's disappointing performance, they are in 7th position on the ladder. Whether that changes in the weeks to come, I hope you'll join us here when once again we present more great VFL action in pro football.